Welcome back to Core Life Chit Chat, the podcast where I roast the sun, romanticize going on walks, and launch a non-profit organization, all while having a full-blown existential crisis about summer. I'm your host, Nav Walia, and today I got a fun, short episode planned. So grab your water, grab your SPF 50, and whatever tiny shred of motivation you have left 6 months or almost 5 months into the season, because we're diving into everything I've been up to in the past few weeks. The seasonal vibes, the bookworm moments, the grandma energy, the charity chaos, and why New Year's resolution, as I said before, are nothing but a myth. Because if they weren't a myth, I would have achieved them. And I'm 5 months into the season, and boy, not only have I not achieved my New Year resolution, I don't even remember what the fuck they were. Do you remember your resolution? Yeah, I didn't think so. So without further ado, let's get this episode on the road, shall we? The first segment I want to start off for this episode is talking about the nonprofit. Your girl, aka me, has officially entered a nonprofit charity era. That's right. For once in my life, I've decided to do something really fucking cool and kinda interesting. But let me start off with a story. If you didn't know, I work in a pharmacy. And if you also didn't know, even though I mention it on every single fucking episode, I am an immigrant. I speak multiple languages. I moved to Canada when I was 11, yada yada yada. You know, you've been following. In the past few years, I want to say pretty much the whole time I've been at the pharmacy, I've run into numerous, and I mean numerous people that are, Indian, immigrated, and they come to pharmacy hoping for some medical assistance. Whether it is, we don't speak English, could somebody help us? We need certain medication for a flu and don't know what to get. All the way to, hey, I need a doctor, how do I get a doctor? Or how do I apply for MSP? 99% of the time, people that come asking for advice, they don't speak English, and I have to translate the communication between my pharmacist or just me directly helping the person in our native tongue, which is either Punjabi or Hindi. And I started thinking, I'm like, a lot of people have been immigrating to BC lately, and unfortunately, the older generation don't speak that well English. I am an immigrant. I had difficulty, navigating the social structures of Canada. What do I do to help these people with maximum ease? And boom, an idea went in my head. Flick. I should create a nonprofit organization. But the unfortunate hurdle was that creating a nonprofit organization is fucking pain. I need a board of members. I need some GST so people can donate because it's a charity organization. I need a president. I need bylaws, all this jazz. And I was like, this is a little too much, as I simply do not have the means nor the people to create a full-fledged organization. So I've created an initiative, which that pretty much means is it's me and only me that runs the show. And the initiative is called Bridge to BC. Currently I'm working on the website, which is fucking pain. But I've been talking to a lot of people that I meet on the street who are, obviously Indian in heritage. And especially if they're from an older generation, I talk to them about how they moved, why, any difficulties they're having, anything they wish, they were able to access with more ease. And those are the things I'm going to be helping people with. The notion that I hear that people needed help with is how to get medical assistance, how do I find a doctor, and how do we use technology. So that's where I'll be coming in for help. And currently I'm just in the starting about of creating the online presence for the initiative. So the day this episode comes live, I will post the link to Bridge to BC, my nonprofit initiative, on the podcast and my personal Instagram page. Please go check it out, follow it, and if anybody that needs help that is either new to Canada or still adjusting into the society and they're have any questions, please tell them to reach out. I'm happy to help, completely free. And I know what you might be wondering. I know what you're thinking, which is, Nav, you're so amazing and helpful to people. But is there any other reason besides wanting to help people that you started to create an initiative? And that's right, there is another reason. And I can't believe I'm saying this out loud, but nothing, and I mean nothing, humbles me more than explaining MSP to a recent immigrated granddad who's drinking a hot chai in their hand. And that's why I do it. You know, I do it for all the granddads and the grandmas. So do me a favor, spread the word. Please. Thank you. Now, moving on from my hot girl charity era, I want to hop into the springtime shenanigans. As you know, spring is here. I've made, I think, probably 2 episodes on it. I've been a hot spring girly, reading books, going on walks, all that jazz. You already know. But, unfortunately, spring has sprung. You know what I mean? Spring is here, was here, and it's kind of about to die out. And I know that is happening because every fucking day, I wake up, I step into my living room, and the thing that is waiting for me in my living room is bright fucking sunshine. And I know what you might be wondering. Damn, Nav, it's not that bad. Like, it's just a little bit of sunshine, and the temperature's pretty good. It's like 20 degrees. What are you crying about? True story. 3 days ago, I went on a walk at 3 p.m. The temperature was 19 or maybe 20 degrees, okay? I walked for 10 minutes before I genuinely felt like a peasant stuck in a fucking Saharan desert who's gasping for air and water. I am not joking. I could feel my skin basically charboiled underneath the sun. I couldn't fucking do it. I was so hot, it's insane. I don't know what it is. Okay, maybe it's the fact that I grew up in 40-degree summers, but my God, since that day, I refuse to leave my house until 6:30. I go on my walks at 7 p.m., where the temperature is about 15 degrees and the sun isn't boiling my fucking skin. And it's been bliss. I am back in my hibernation era that I do every summer, which is I don't leave my house anytime before 10 a.m. And it's been going pretty good. And speaking of summer, you know, usually in winter or fall, people grow out their facial hair, hibernate, and they're like, oh, it's Movember, I gotta get a mustache, so on and so forth. For me, I do that shit in the summer or late spring, right? I grow it out in the winter. I'm in my hot girl era, right? And I've been so inspired to grow a beard. You know, I've been looking at tutorials online, how to, you know, edge up your beard and how do you create that trend of having like a triangular beard where there's like longer hair near your chin, shorter hair on your face cheeks. And I was at work this past week and I went to my coworker and I was like, hey, like, you know, how's my beard looking? Give me an update. And my coworker said, and I quote, Nav, it's giving less beard and more terrorist attack. Now, I don't know what the fuck that means, but I'm gonna say that it doesn't mean good. Now, why am I telling you? Well, because there's a lesson here, and that is never let anybody stop you from doing who you're doing. Or, sorry, not who you're doing, what you're doing. I am on a mission. I got a vision. And that is to grow out a sick fucking beard. I shall not stop. I will not stop. Because mama didn't raise no quitters or spitters. So I'm in my hot girl era of growing out my hot girl beard, which is looking like hot trash beard. But I'll keep you guys updated. Now moving on from my beard dilemma, I want to talk about fucking books. I know I talk all the time about, man, I'm reading this and I'm reading that, but boys, let me tell you. I'm fucking reading too much, okay? Which is actually not true. I am listening to audiobooks a lot, I'm reading a lot, and I just want to say, what a great old time. I've been reading so many fucking spring books that it's been such a blast. You know, recently I read this book, I shit you not, it's called Wind in the Willows, and it's literally about a rat and a mole that go on an adventure throughout the woodlands, and they meet a honey badger, and they try to have an intervention for their friend, the frog, who is a rich dude, but he has an obsessive and destructive personality where he gets addicted to cars and how cool cars are, and he basically starts doing crimes, like stealing cars, running away from jail, and it was a fucking blast to read. It was perfectly spring, perfectly fun vibes. That was wholesome. Currently, I'm reading a book that's called Daisies for Innocence. It's literally a book about enchanted garden that a murder happens and people are trying to figure it out, and this main character has magical energy. And I'm only like 10 pages in, but holy fuck, it's so good. And it's very cozy. And boy, am I radiating some grandma energy with my fucking books. It's been a perfect time. Going on walks, listening to fucking audiobooks, come home, reading books. And you know what? you might be wondering, damn Nav, you read a lot. Is there a reason? Is it your passion? Is it your favorite hobby? And no. The answer is no. The reason I read a lot is because it's nice to remind yourself I'm not a dum-dum and that I can read. So that's mostly the reason why I do it. And the other reason I read a lot is because of unseen circumstances. I no longer have a social life. I'm really experiencing like the loneliness some people feel in high school in my mid-20s, and shit's fucking crazy. I just want to say, I remember there being 18, me being 18, 19, and thinking my mid-20s are going to be great. And so far, my mid-20s are full of obesity, loneliness, too many books, being a fucking nerd, and going on walks like grandma. And you know what? I ain't complaining. I ain't complaining. But you know what I am complaining about? Fucking resolutions. Okay, god damn it. We are officially in May. How many of y'all have followed up with your New Year's resolution? Great, me neither. Shit, I don't even remember what my New Year's resolutions were. I'm not even joking. My plan in the beginning of January was to read a little bit less, even though I consumed the same amount of books, get more fit. I'm still fat as shit. 3, grow a nice beard, because, let's be real, my face is fat, and I thought having a beard might make my face look less fat. So far, I look fatter. So that's cool. And the other resolution I had is I want to get a new job that pays me a lot more than I make right now. Newsflash, I applied to 500 jobs and I got 0 interviews. So I'm pretty sure I'm unhireable. So that's how my New Year resolution is going. But hopefully it doesn't get worse. A few weeks ago, I started going on gym. And boy, have I not done that in a minute. It's been about 2 weeks since I've gone to the gym. You might be wondering, damn, Nav, why'd you quit? Did you get fat? Did you get lazy? Did you just get bored? Yes, all of the above. But hopefully in the recent days, I'll start going to the gym again, because I'm not joking. I really want to fit into my winter clothes, okay? I don't think you people understand how much I love fashion and how poorly I fit into fashion right now. So I gotta channel my hot girl winter energy so I can hit some peak fits in the winter. But even though I've hit almost none of my New Year's resolutions, and I'm nowhere close to achieving anything on my New Year's resolution, I will say, the way this year's been going has absolutely hit my resolution, which was to have a chaotic year that is filled with energy and drama, and my god, are we off to a fucking races. It's been bliss. And I hope that you are hitting your New Year's resolutions, and you're still working towards them. And if you're not, guess what, motherfuckers? I called it. I literally made an episode in which I said, New Year's resolutions are a joke, ain't nobody hitting them. So there you have it. A short episode which is filled with story time about non-profit organization, me talking about dry heaving because of the fucking sun, reading books, and losing at New Year's resolutions. Don't forget to like and share this episode with your grandma, your grandpa, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, and your parents. And do me a favor, make sure to follow the non-profit organization's Instagram. I'll post it on my podcast page and private page. Thank you so much for listening. I'll be back next week. And next week's episode, just a quick heads up. I'm stuck between 2 topics. Either A, make an episode on Delulu energy, or B, I make an episode all about books, because I've gotten a couple messages on IG saying an episode revolving around books and book talk will be cool. So, hey, we don't know what's happening next week. But I will be back next week. That's for fucking sure. I'll see y'all later. Thank you for listening. Hasta la vista, folks. Bye-bye!